Okay, so my views reflect Uncanny Valley. Interest in is Uncanny Valley. Like, I have like 7 or 8 videos. The last one that I got a view count of more than 0 was, it said cancer AIDS in the title, which is not really interesting, just noted. And uh, so the videos that are actually interesting, you know what I'm saying? But, like, the thing is, I also am fallible for some reasons, faulty, so, you know what I'm saying? So there should be hate viewers, there should be like all these different things going on. I don't know what that is to prove, but like, what is this channel really being used for is still an interesting or operative question, right? Like, what is it really, you know? I don't think anybody actually gets what they expect, like when they start out on a venture, like, or to create a, let's say, want to create a coin or something, and it's not gonna do what they wanted it to do when they designed it or something like that. So it's just science project. Like, I swear it goes back to that. Like, it's like that. Like, that's not even my idea to come out with a science project. To come out with my science project. Interesting. Uh, okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna probably be moving again because Uncanny Valley is interested in my channel. Like, there's people that watch the channel, and if they don't click or make us say something, then I get 0 views. But they're there and they can see it. So if they don't click like, then that's actually pretty smart. And because they already have done what, you know what I'm saying, already leaving a comment is already doing what is important for the science project, if that's what it's to be. Then, and it's just funny that I don't really believe in any interest in, like, actually manipulating a channel like this one. But if it was a reality, like, I think the algorithm had maybe shadow banned and maybe that's already decoded then. But if there was actually any other interest in the video than the 4 people that I know and 1 or 2 people that I've actually talked to on the internet, this being considered the internet, uh, it would only be Uncanny Valley that actually is interested in my videos, because the last one that got a like, I just took it down because I put it up. It was no title, just the date, and it got a like, and then I was like, what the crap? Because, like, it was an addition to the previous video, which is actually more important than, because I thought like there was something funny in it, but fucking fuck. Show some fucking trades, you pussy. I wanted to say that. No, that's somebody else. Uh, yeah, yeah, and I don't know. I'm like back and forth between whether or not I like talking about crypto in the videos, because I know that it's impossible to actually transform the magical internet money into money in your pocket without, if you were criminally inclined, without using an account that you have to get rid of, and nobody wants to associate with an account that could devalue their funds because you just hit a lick and fucking then uh, you have to use the bank. You still have to use the bank, but, like, is there still a crazy person or something that doesn't know and just found out about it? Then he's like, oh, so because you have some, then I'll just have you going to the ATM, or I'll go to the ATM and somebody else will hold you over, or something like that. But, like, that would be such a difficulty for, like, for entry level positions that, somebody has, and then a couple of projects, then it's like almost pretty safe, then, I think, to say. But at some, I guess, like, if I reach my goals, then I would just be more um seclusive. Then I would just not even use this phone to make these videos. It would be stupid. It would be like there's no, you know, but I'm not there yet, and I don't know any super criminal minded computer geniuses that are, you know, so that's cool, but except for maybe the um McCarthyist, national socialistic, like, some kind of like thing like this, like, uh, back before, in the before the Reconstruction era, they see the same thing happening. You have people calling themselves progressive, and and people correlating to that would call themselves like something like federalist state, federalist. Uh, Federalist basically was Democrat, Southern Democrat, like Northern something else, and I think it's like, you're saying like they kind of spin off from there, and it seems like enough time has gone for people to know that one-upmanship and playing the, you know, calling out the different, like, you're doing it wrong, and talking to the screen and talking to the movie and telling the movie, you can, somebody behind them can see them talking to a screen, you know what I'm saying, has gone on long enough to figure it out. But like the thing that's holding back the verging technologies and the way that we can fix the finances is pearl clutching geriatrics. Not to say anything bad about old people, because that's just not right. I don't want to make that analogy or generalization, that, or to say that I think old people are stupid or anything when I say this, but there's nothing wrong with globalism. It's just the people who are the globalists right now, and they're pearl clutching geriatrics because they're not creative wisdom, creative energy, creative imagination, creative writing, creative anything. They don't know how to do that anymore. They basically surf the internet looking for new social media terminologies, and they have likability ratings on people's faces, which is uncanny valley, and you know what I mean. And then there's the objective of porn, which seems like more and more like I'm not supposed to fuck with it. That they have to find out what is appeals to. Uh, it's like what is sacred, and like find that out, and then exploit that, and then it's like a, a spoof or something, then find the next thing and the next thing, because that's where the interest is, in making so that you see their specific porn and not just any porn, because you would probably be happy with almost any, like, high quality, uh, you know, professionally done, whatever you want to call that anymore, porn. Like, it's gonna be pretty much all good, and so the way to get, you know, it's like a way to hedge. It's just hedging, and hedging is not even actually to be moralized or considered criminal or wrong. So, um, I just don't. I think that it might come to a point when somebody hedges with defense contracts and also persuades and it was like extortion, or they'll do things like coercion, extortion, to to influence people to want to participate and stuff like that, and they're gonna get their heads chopped off, right? I'm not saying that I want that. I'm not saying that like it's good or anything. I'm just saying that it's gonna happen because it's inevitable. Like some people are gonna need to actually go through neuro, um, like the like you're gonna need a fancy brain surgeon, or you're gonna have to witness these people actually getting served justice, like the way it's like would would be acknowledged. Like, since we're subscribing to the rule of law, if you don't, then it doesn't matter. Then that's, outside. You don't have to be subject to any of this, you know, philosophy or whatever. because the Christ is also the most hideous form of warrior, which is like um, a, a warrior with a sword in one hand and a severed head in the other hand and a erect phallus. Like there's all these different forms of the Christ, and I don't know if people um, should be subjected to this, but I think they can handle it. It's just how you're subjected to this. You know what I'm saying? So you know, and then also, yeah, the Messianic era is deterministic. So it was used for deterministic reasons, and when you see what that means, right? When you realize that, like, basically demagoguery was the precursor to Christendom, and Christendom is the messianic energy. The messianic is the Christ the child, and that's the sacrifice for atonement. And it was chosen because it's deterministic. So all these things that I'm saying is true. It doesn't necessarily have to mean that one specific individual on this date was showed up at this place and worked this miracle, and then he reflected these ways, and then he had revelations over here, and there was visions over there, and he healed people over here, and the same guy came back around and looped over, and then he was the sacrifice on that day. And it's not about it being one guy. It's it's the job of the Nazarene in the storyline, and this they give you is the story. So you would expect the characters that we develop, since we developed the characters, like, you know, there's things that you don't want to be interested in because you don't have to deal with it because you're not developing any of the characters in the movie. That's and I guess it could be um, fed through a conduit in a dream state, like to project it through a synthetic force screen, and you know, it's the amenta. Like you're not gonna actually ever get around to it, just placating me.